Hey y'all, I'm Beth. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about doing a mid-year ritual. Now, what is a mid-year ritual? Well, it's new to me. It's not new to everyone, but it's new to me. My mid-year ritual is a dedicated period of reflection and intention setting that occurs around the year's midpoint. I've chosen the solstice for two reasons. The first is that I resonate with the energy of key celestial points. It also falls at a key time. The June solstice takes place on June 20th or June 21st each year, allowing for a 10-day window to review, reflect, and shift our mindsets for the next 6 months. This ritual involves introspective activities such as journaling and goal setting, with meaningful practices that honor the natural elements. It's designed to celebrate progress, let go of adversity, manifest dreams, and renew personal energy, aligning my actions with the rhythms of nature and my own personal core values. This is my Sterling Ink Common Planner. I keep it in a Galen leather case, and most of my planning stuff falls in here. We are going to flip forward to the intrinsic goal setting page that comes with this planner. Now, when I set this up at the beginning of the year and put my goals in here, I did do a video on this. I'll link it down in the description box below. I took Catherine from Sterling Ink's suggestion to type and stick in those goals. These are all little stickers of my goals. I began the year with 2 priorities for each of my elemental domains: Earth, which is home and hearth; Air, career and creativity; Fire, relationships; Water, health and wellness; and Ether, or spirit. That's 10 manifestations. For the Sterling Ink Common Planner, you've got a bunch of columns to work with. One of them is a someday. This is a lofty goal. This isn't that I'm going to do this in 2 months. I'm going to do it in 3. I'm not even going to do it in 12. This is the things that you are working on to get to a much loftier purpose. And then you break it down to 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. But life happens. We change. Our circumstances change. It's important to recognize this as part of the life cycle and how it can affect the goals and manifestations we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year. This was the quarterly reflection that I did in March. It forms the basis of the mid-year ritual. Some of these questions are the same. Where am I right now? What is my reality? And then I took all of these questions, narrowed down my goals, then indicated by a star which ones were the ones that I definitely wanted to pursue for the rest of the year. But now that we've reached the midpoint of the year, and I've had even a few more setbacks, it's necessary to do a little bit deeper of a dive into the goals that I have left, look back at some of the ones that I put on a someday maybe list. Not all of our goals that we haven't reached need to be let go of. And so I've set up for myself a period of reflection. I'm going to go ahead and hop back to this week. The last video I posted was a plan with me where I did this and indicated that I would be working for 3 days this week, and that in order to make time for my ritual, my mid-year ritual, I have actually taken off 2 days this week. You don't have to set aside that much time. You could just do the weekend. I wanted to do this ritual on the actual summer solstice and the full moon that follows. Now, there's been some changes in here already since I set it up. I went to a therapy appointment on Monday, realized we really need to get me in to see my doctor, my psychiatrist, not just my therapist, but my psychiatrist. The soonest appointment we could get was on Thursday at 8 a.m. And so I took the appointment. I've stuck a piece of sticker paper in here to cover up what I had put in here during the plan with me so that I could stick my appointment for seeing my psychiatrist. It's all good. Just have to rearrange things a little bit. This will definitively serve as the moment to get me out of the house, though. It will serve as getting out of a space where I might be tempted to do things other than my ritual, like watching television or even cleaning the house. You know how we are. We sit around, we see things, and we're like, oh, there's a pile over there. I got to go deal with it. I'm trying to get myself away from all of those distractions In order to do this ritual over these 2 days, I needed to set the scene. And when you're embarking on a period of reflection, like this mid-year ritual, it's important for you to set the scene. One of the things you're going to want to do is set aside the time, or multiple blocks of time to complete the reflections. Like I said, I'm taking 2 days. I'm going to intersperse periods of reflection with other activities through the course of the 2 days. You could definitely do this between the 20th of the solstice and the 29th or 30th of the month. You could take a full 10 days, give yourself a block of time each day so that you have time devoted to each reflection. You're going to want to choose a reflective space with minimal distractions. I'm taking myself out of the house. I can have less distractions at a park. I can even have less distractions at a place like a coffee shop, where I can just put myself in the corner, stick in some earbuds with some music that's not too distracting. I do tend to listen to music specifically to shut up my brain, which is not what we're looking for here. We need to be able to listen to our brains. If you're one of those people that will turn on the radio, turn on the music, turn on the television just so you have background noise because you don't like to listen to your own thoughts, this is the time to try to embrace those thoughts. So I'm taking myself out of the house. Going to the psychiatrist is going to kick off that ability to get me out so that I can go somewhere a little more reflective and focus on doing these different rituals. You're going to want to gather the materials you need, and you're going to want to set the mood. I need to make sure that I take everything with me. That's going to include this. That's going to include a notebook I'm going to show you here in a moment, where I'm actually going to do my ritual question answering. I've given myself a lot more space. And if you are doing this at home and you have a quiet moment, maybe you want to light a candle. Maybe you want some incense. Maybe you just want a good cup of tea. You're going to go on ahead and set the mood and gather your materials so that you can focus. You also want to set your intentions for the exercise. What do you want to get out of it? Why are you doing this? I'm doing it to recenter myself because things have been just so crazy this year, and I need to reevaluate some of the priorities that I set at the beginning of the year. You're going to want to stay hydrated and nourished. Make sure you're somewhere where you can have a snack. Take an apple with you. Take a banana. Make sure you get your meals in there. I have in here in my ritual a harvest lunch. I want to go somewhere and eat something that has all of that first harvest flavor for the summer. So there is, ironically, a pizza place here where I am who actually has the best salads in town. They have a primavera salad that comes with mixed greens and raw asparagus and raw squash and raw zucchini, and it's my favorite salad in town. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to have that day, but it might be what I have that day while I am out and about. It just has all of those flavors of early summertime. You want to stay nourished and you want to stay hydrated. I also have my very large cup of water that goes with me everywhere. Other thing you're going to want to do is keep an open mind and heart. You're here for guidance, and you want to give yourself grace. During these reflections, we may be letting go of things that no longer serve us. You have to find a way to do that without guilt. To guide both you and me, I created a mid-year ritual workbook in 2 parts. This is the cover of the workbook. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because you've got to have some intrigue, but we are going to talk about it. Part 1 is the summer solstice, reflection, and rebirth. During the summer solstice, we harness the energy of the longest day of the year to reflect on our journey so far and set intentions for the months ahead. This is a time for renewal, letting go of what no longer serves us, and embracing new possibilities. Section 1 of Part 1 is facing your current reality. Understanding your current reality takes an honest look at your present circumstances, acknowledging your achievements and challenges. You're going to ask yourself, where am I right now? What is my reality? And some other guiding questions. Section 2 is an energy assessment. Reflecting on past experiences helps you understand what has fueled your progress and what has held you back, what gave you energy this year, and what sucked the life out of you. Section 3 is about letting go and embracing change. Releasing goals that no longer serve us and embracing change is essential for our growth and renewal. Section 4 is seeking new sparks. We'll guide you through igniting fresh ideas and passions that energize and inspire you and prioritize what is possible. Once you've done all of that, we're going to move into part 2, which is the mid-year full moon. It's about progress and journey. Coinciding with the full moon, the second part of this workbook is a celebration of our progress and the journey we've undertaken. It's an opportunity to honor our achievements, recognize the magic within us, and set positive course for the future. Section 1 is about celebrating that progress. When facing unfulfilled goals, you've got to take the time to honor your progress and appreciate how far you've already come. We can't be constantly focusing on the negative. Section 2 is about dreaming big. Envision your most ambitious dreams and aspirations, and I mean big dreams and aspirations. This is the perfect time to harness your energy to dream big and set intentions for the future. Section 3 is about manifesting your energy. We all have a little magic inside us. You'll explore how embracing and amplifying your unique qualities can empower momentum toward your goals. Section 4 is about picking your power. A power word is a single word or short phrase that embodies a specific quality or intention you want to focus on and cultivate in your life. It serves as a guiding principle or a source of inspiration, helping you stay aligned with your goals and values. If you've never harnessed a power word, we will guide you through picking one that empowers you. Section 5 is moving forward. This is where you will synthesize everything you've reflected on and learned from and turned it into an actionable plan. To give you a little peek, let's look at part 1, section 2, which is the energy assessment. The questions here are, what enhanced my energy this year so far? This can be a person, an activity, a circumstance, a feeling, any of those things that gave you energy. Number 2 is the antithesis of that. What deprived me of energy this far? Again, this can be a person, an activity, a circumstance, a feeling. Then we're going to look at ourselves. These are external circumstances that gave us energy or took them away. This one is, what personal patterns or habits have consistently influenced my energy levels, both positively and negatively. So, external impact, internal impact from ourselves. Question number 4, what do I need to start, stop, or continue to enhance my energy for the remainder of the year? And we have spots for start, stop, and continue. Number 5, how will I grow and protect my energy? The workbook is also peppered with a few quotes here and there for inspiration. This is one of my favorites. You don't have to be the sun for the people who don't appreciate your light. That is an example of just one section of the workbook. And again, there are 9 sections. Part 1 has 4 and part 2 has 5. Once the ritual is completed, we return to our planners, journals, and goal systems, wherever you house yours, and implement a plan for the next 6 months. This is the spread that I have set up to come back in and place in the goals that are going to be of priority. I have again left myself space for 2 goals for each one of my life domains. This doesn't mean I'm going to go after all 10 of them. The workbook will narrow down your priorities to 3 and the steps needed to move those manifestations forward. I intend to indicate what those 3 priorities are on this spread. And remember, you don't have to reach them all by the end of the year. Speed doesn't matter. Forward is forward. If you reach a goal and have additional priorities in the pipeline, like I will, then you can begin work on another, but don't overwhelm yourself. Once I finish all of my mid-year ritual questions and reflections, which I will not be doing directly in the printed workbook, I've set up another journal for that. This is a journal that I had set up for a class that I ended up not needing to take notes in because it was very hands-on and interactive. And so I did pull out a few pages. I have stuck in a few things. You can see there's a difference between the white paper of the sticker paper and the cream paper of the journal. We're working with what we've got. I'm not worried about that right now. I put in a little bit of a manifesto for myself at the beginning because I am such a sun sign. It says, I am a radiant being of light and strength. I embrace my inner fire and let it shine brightly. I draw prosperity, joy, and abundance into my life. The sun fills me with energy, dispelling darkness and nurturing my spirit. I am worthy of all the good the universe has to offer. I welcome it with an open heart and a grateful soul. I've just put in some cutouts from the front of the workbook. I also included part 1 from the workbook, and then I wrote out the questions. Here is current reality. Where am I right now? What is my reality? And then I have all of the questions for part 1 in here, and then part 2 again with the questions. I gave myself a full page for every single one of those reflections. What comes out of those is what I will then put into my actual planner and try to put into action. If you would like a guided ritual, the workbook is available for download now in my Patreon shop. You do not have to be a member to purchase it. Remember that all purchases made from a mobile iOS device like an iPad or an iPhone may include additional fees from Apple. With or without the workbook, I hope you will consider doing your own mid-year ritual and explore how to release goals with no self-judgment and reinforce those manifestations that matter most. Thank you to my patrons for sharing in this journey. The Mid-Year Ritual Workbook is free to my elemental patrons. If you are interested in diving deeper into the ritual, learning more about my elemental life operating system, and guiding future content within this ever-evolving system, we would love to have you as a patron member as well. If you are interested in discovering the personal core values to guide your goal setting in the future, I recommend you watch that video next. It also has a corresponding workbook. It will be linked down below along with all other relevant content. Thank you for spending part of your day with me today. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.